The college football experience, Dantabase top 25, and Tuesday night Conference USA preview and picks, as well as recent firings episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog is hooking up new customers. Play just $5, get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with our promo code. That is TCE SGPN. So do that, and remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
This is Coach June Jones, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience. Dantabase top 25 and Tuesday night Conference USA preview and picks, as well as the head coaching carousel episode. Look, there'll be a lot of shit going on in college football. We're here for it all. We love it. YouTube.com/the college experience. Jump on over there, hit that like and subscribe button. Coming off the best week, by far my best week of the year. I mean, I was on absolute fire this past week. Hope you enjoyed the benefits of that. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, that's fair. My name is Colby Swing at Dantabase Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I want this pilot. It's a matter of national security.
Oh boy. Great week upon us. I know the Halloween weekend's great too. I think it's even better, but this one's still a pretty fire week. Excited about it. I love doing this episode. I'll be honest. I think this is my favorite episode I do all week because of the hypothetical. It's either this or Wednesday with the Bet Detective and you, and we're bullshitting.
Yeah.
I like the DFS show too. I mean, there's a lot that I like, but I don't know. I'm drinking right now. You know what I mean? It's fun. Look, I am joined by my co-host. He is also the host of the College Basketball Experience. Hopefully you're checking out all these previews. We're doing every goddamn conference on the College Hoops preview. And remember, when we go live on November 2nd, we cover every damn college basketball game that gets played in the entire season. We've been doing this shit for years. So check out the College Basketball Experience and give it up for former staffer and also P with the Governor of South Carolina with the Gamecocks and West Virginia with the Mountaineers, Ryan McIntyre, aka Money Lord Mac. What's up, man?
What's up, man? Yes, it's a triple header over here on the College Experience. Crossover season, basketball, football. Great time to be alive. Cheers.
It is a great time to be alive. With the exception of those targeting rules and banning tortillas.
Oh, God.
I mean,
what happened in society?
We've reached a low fucking point on banning tortillas. Texas Tech announced this tradition that they've had forever of throwing tortillas. I mean, how is this a big fucking deal? So basically, that Kansas coach that faked the fucking knife thing won. No one has ever gotten injured on a what are we doing? A tortilla? This is the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life. Texas Tech's athletic director announced today that they will no longer be doing this tradition. In my opinion, fuck that. You can sneak a tortilla in your goddamn pocket. That shit goes through a metal detector. You're not going to know. And you throw that goddamn tortilla. If they're not going to throw out 100, if you have enough people, they're not going to do it. It's that simple. If you have your entire student body throw that, what are they going to do? What the fuck are they going to do?
It's like storming. They can't stop all of us.
They can't stop us all. All right. So please, if you know anybody in Lubbock, what are we doing?
Don't be the one to get caught. But hey,
I'm telling you, man, your mark, you get this goddamn, here's the problem, man. Look, I love New York City. I love college football and its history in New York City, but current people that are from New York City do not fucking know about college football. They don't know the history. They don't know the history. I mean, they should, because New York City actually played a pivotal role in the history of college football. But when you have someone like Yormark who has not, to me, I would question how much he really even knew about college football coming into this. And how much does he genuinely love it? I question that. So when you see dumb shit like this, or games in fucking London and Dublin, and him trying to go to fucking Mexico City and stuff, I hate it, man. Maybe he's a nice guy. I have no idea, but this is ridiculous. Your thoughts on the tortilla? Like, who's the? What are we doing here? I mean, you got a better chance of getting injured off the fucking Gatorade you're drinking than a fucking tortilla. So should we get Cam Rising? Didn't he hit the fucking Gatorade cooler a year ago? It was out for the season after that. Maybe we should get rid of Gatorade too. I mean, what the fuck are we doing, Mac?
What a bad year. Fake lightning delays. Now the tortilla scandal. I mean, this is a witch hunt once again. You can't let those city folks into college football, man. Like, stay in your lane, stay in the NFL. This is our product. This is our culture. Like, this is a tradition that's been going on for hundreds of years. Nobody's getting fucking hurt with the tortilla. I mean, come on, man.
Shame on all these Big 12 coaches. I don't care who, Dion, Leipold, whatever. Stop bitching. A tortilla has never hurt anybody. I don't buy it. I just don't. I don't. You can get stung by a bee too playing football. You know that? What are we gonna do? Like, what the fuck is this, dude?
I was gonna say you have a better chance of being struck by a car out there, but I don't want to jinx myself again.
I mean, this is the most ridiculous shit I've ever heard, man.
It is ridiculous.
Like, what are you serving? You serve peanuts. The fucking allergies. I was at the Duke game. We had peanuts. You got what? No more peanuts. The allergies are ridiculous. I mean, it's just a ridiculous time.
Yeah, we used to throw in West Virginia. We used to throw batteries at Pitt. We used to throw orange slices at Miami, and Syracuse. I mean, those were the good old days.
Like, a tortilla is nothing. Like, it is impossible to sell me on the idea that a tortilla actually hurts.
No, it's a fucking soft ass little wrap.
Your players are in uniform and pads they're going to go play a game where they hit each other, and a fucking tortilla is the storyline here. Ridiculous. All right, let's get into it.
Lost our mind. Yeah. I can see why this is your favorite show. We lead it off with what's your rant of the week, and then we go into the Dantabase Top 25, and then we go into the.
I just like and this is the show I probably get drunkest too. So it's like that equals happiness as well. I don't care what anyone says. It's like, you're in your 40s. You shouldn't drink this heavy. No, I enjoy this one. I like getting really drunk. All right, that's great. That one. That's a thing that's happened. Tell me I'm wrong there. The history of the world disagrees.
I got a quick drunk story. Friday night, I got so hammered out that I woke up Saturday morning and my phone was reset. Lost all my contacts, lost all my messages. I was fighting with the cloud all day Saturday and Sunday. Monday morning, everything's restored. I got everything back.
Wait, you were in your own house?
No, I was out. I was out and about. I was out of the bar, and then I woke up.
I just wonder if someone, they can steal. Someone was schooling me on this, and when I was in LA a couple weeks back or a couple months back, and someone was telling me they had this device where you could just come up and they could wipe all your shit and transfer it over to.
Could have been.
So watch out, buddy.
It probably was a Pitt fan. I probably was just yelling in the corner.
Hack it into your mainframe. Or you got a PI after you or something, for some Pitt fan hiring a PI to go after you. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Don't worry. I fought with the cloud for the next 48 hours. I got everything back. I'm good to go.
Let me tell you something, man.
Friday night dust up.
Let me tell you something. In like 2000, I don't know, 16, 17, something like that. I was out having a great time in LA, getting pissed drunk with my buddies.
It's a great story.
And yeah, end of story. No, but I left my phone in a cab or an Uber. I think it was a cab, right? And I realized it right after I got out the cab. And of course, I even had the guy's name. I call him. I call the cab station. They're like, "No, they didn't see shit." I'm like, "Of course, right?" Then I order a phone like an idiot. I'm like, "All right, I need a new iPhone." Right. But I was just like, I went to fucking like, I don't remember if it was eBay or something. And I ordered and I got had. It was a busted phone from the start. So I'm waiting like a week for this new phone to arrive. I have no phone. Right. And then I get the dummy phone sent to me here. I get had on that dummy phone. Well, by this point, then I write, I think it was eBay. I'm not even sure if it was eBay, but I write eBay. And I'm like, dude, this motherfucker is selling fake phones on your shit, right? Yeah. And by this point, I'm stubborn. I'm like, no, I want them to refund me, and then I'll go get a phone. And by this point, it's been like a month with me not having a phone, right? And then after the first 10 days, I was like, what the fuck, man? I need to have a phone. Dude, I kind of loved it after I got used to not having a phone. And it was hilarious. All my friends were super pissed. Like some of my it's like Patty C and stuff. They're trying to go get drunk with me and stuff. Like, God damn it! You can never get a hold of. You're trying to play the game of who's with Colby.
Yeah.
So I can contact them to get a hold of me, dude. I found that shit to be refreshing. I found it to be super refreshing. So I mean, maybe you just wiping that shit's probably the best thing. You'll find out who your friends are when they hit you up.
Oh, I know.
You don't need to go back and get those old numbers. Right?
Hey, who needs those old fucking numbers? You know what it was? Is we were making so much goddamn money on Friday night with Louisville money line, then Minnesota money line, then Utah State covered, and then when we had Chapel Bill. I was ordering shots for everybody in the goddamn bar, and I fucking simply wiped my phone.
I
know what happened.
Been there before.
Yeah. You know, it took you 72 hours. Now I'm sharp as a tack again.
Hey, shout out to the chat. Circle of Trust. I don't have a cell phone either, Dundee. It is the best. It is, honestly, man. Let me ask you guys this. I know we're supposed to be talking football. This is the best part about this show. This is what I like about this show, Mac. If you could press the button where you could turn off the internet, you know what I mean? Like the internet's cool and shit. You know, you could find anything to cook that you want or whatever. You know, you could find fucking, you know, whatever you want is out there. But man, we're like the last generation. Me, I don't know, but I think maybe you too. I'm not sure. On like didn't have the internet. I can remember happiness pre-internet, pre-computer, right? Would you? To me, if you asked me, would I hit the switch, even though I know it would terminate my employment? I think I would do it. I think I would do it. I'd be like, fuck. Sometimes it's just information overload. You got to fucking sit there. I'm like, God damn it, do I really? Except for football, honestly. And that'll be the tie-in for this. Is like the only thing I love waking up every day in football and basketball, and you're reading about, okay, you're thinking about all these teams and stuff. That's what I enjoy from the internet. But most of the time, you know, I enjoy people calling me a gap tooth motherfucker occasionally in the chat. But yeah, what are we talking about again?
Good. Go Bees is saying I've been getting into some wild shit. Phone being wiped by 20-year-olds, car crashes, new apartments. I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
Welcome to America, baby.
Well, welcome to the college football experience, baby.
We get paid
I've been drinking NyQuil all night. I'm mixing it with whiskey, and I'm going to the loo, of course. So we're having a good old fucking time here. We do have news. Speaking of unemployment and firings, here, let's load this up. We got slides and everything. I did do work. Florida, they fired this Billy Napier character. Finally, he's gone. And after a win, I love Florida. They always fire their coaches after wins. They're like, you know what? I see what you did there. Don't keep doing that. You're fired. But obviously, I don't think this was a surprising thing. But I'm curious your thoughts, and I just off of the, you know, I'm curious who you think the next coach of Florida is going to be. Is it going to be Jed Fish, or what? What do you think?
I mean, shout out to Napier for making it an extra year. I thought he was a dead man walking last year. So, I mean, survive in advance, get some more. I guess he didn't get more money because he's ended up getting the buyout eventually. But, yeah, 22 and 23 ain't going to cut it at Florida. I mean, do you think Lane Kiffin takes it? I don't think Lane's going to take it.
It just seems a little messy right now because they'll probably have a new – I mean, they don't have a president right now. They'll get a president – who I think will eventually get a new athletic director.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of unknown there. And from what I understand, like the boosters are all over the place a little bit there.
I don't think they're going to go G5 like Alex Golesh. I think that would be a good hire, but I don't think after the G5 route just failed, I think they'll go with a bigger name.
And Billy Gonzalez. Yeah. Well, Billy Gonzalez is the interim head coach, but that's their wide receivers coach. Franklin, that's the thing. Like to me, that makes too much sense, but I do think they might think that it's a slap in the face to get someone else's trash.
True.
I mean, to me, if you're just trying to win games, it's the elephant in the room. It's like, wait, we can get a guy who can take us to the playoffs every year.
Yeah. you just won't be Georgia ever.
Yeah.
Georgia and whoever else is.
So we can be in the playoffs almost every year. I would say like 4 out of 5. Just like they say 4 out of 5 dentists recommend it. 4 out of 5 years. James Franklin will get you into the college football playoffs. But do you want that? You don't want. But Penn State will say you took our trash. All right, you took our fucking trash, and that's the ego shot to these boosters. They say nope, we got to get our own. Got to go there. Jed Fish has got Florida roots. Lincoln Riley. I'm not Lincoln Riley. Lane. What do I always say? Lane Kiffin has a history in the state of Florida. So outside of the box, is there anyone else that really you think like Eli Drinkwitz?
I mean, Drinkwitz would make sense. He's had success just like Franklin. I mean, he wins 9-10 games. They beat up on the teams they're supposed to beat, and they lose the big games when they're outmatched. So, yeah, but I don't know. I kind of think Drinkwitz thinks he could get a better job.
Penn State, maybe.
Yeah, I think he wants a Penn State job. But I could see it. I mean, what? Mullen went from Mississippi State to Florida.
Yeah,
hire Dan Mullen.
Yeah, I mean, they would have been better off just keeping him personally. But I'm trying to think who else would be like a splash. Could they get Leipold? Could they get Matt Campbell?
I don't think so. I mean, Campbell's turned down bigger jobs.
Campbell recruits really heavy in Florida, though, so it would make sense. It would make sense.
I mean, Lane makes total sense from a personality standpoint. Like, he fits the Gators.
I think Alex Golesh fits because
I do too.
He's already there. He was at Tennessee, so you're basically getting that rivalry would heat the fuck up because he was at Tennessee with Heupel. I think that one makes a lot of sense too. So, yeah. Ed Orger on the chat saying, obviously, we want him back in the sport. And something about him being a Gator is spot fucking on. If there's one football coach in my lifetime that could successfully wrestle an alligator,
hilarious.
I think it's Ed Orgeron. That would be my first vote would be Ed Orgeron. I'm wondering who the fuck could be number 2. Maybe Bum Phillips or something. He's gone though, Billy Napier. Let me ask you this: if you're UAB, do you call up Billy Napier and say, "Well, why don't you come down here to Birmingham? We got this Penetrope Stadium thing." Would he be at the top of your list, or maybe there's a couple other probably group of 5 jobs that are opening? He had great success. Louisiana could go back and get him, believe it or not, with Des Moreau looking like shit this year. What do you think?
I think any G5 team would. Napier, I think, would be great at that level. Great at that level again. He's 40-12, 27-5. I know Louisiana is one of the better jobs, but I think UAB should give him a call. I think he would be right at the top of my list. He's already won at that level.
Yeah, Coastal Carolina fans seeing them beat App State, even though they're a rival, they're like, "Fuck, Beck's gonna make a bowl game. We could get Napier or Neil Brown if we didn't."
I was just about to say, like, Napier and Neil Brown. If I'm a G5, I'm giving those guys a call.
Skip
They've
Holtz
already won
too.
it that way.
Skip Holtz, I would say, yeah, yeah. Those three would definitely be called there. There was another firing yesterday after we did our show, and that was in Fort Collins as Colorado State fires friend of the program, Jay Norvell, who's been on this very show. So Jay's a great guy, but I personally think it was deservingly. I thought Colorado State had never delivered, and I thought this hire was going to work. By the way, this is one Napier. I didn't think it would ever work at Florida. Norvell, I actually thought it would work at Colorado State based on what I saw him do at Nevada. I thought with more resources, a better situation, more attractive place, Fort Collins than Reno. I thought it was going to work, and this is one that I will gladly admit that I was wrong on. So, I mean, he still took them bowling, but at the same time, they just were never good to me. They were never like a contender in the Mountain West. Were you surprised about this firing?
I was a little surprised that he didn't make it through the year, just because they were coming off an 8-win season. I know that we thought that they were a little bit down, but they had just beaten Fresno. I know that they lost to Hawaii by double digits, and that was a disappointing loss. But yeah, I thought he would make the year. But yeah, I mean, it was an underwhelming resume for Norvell. One winning season in his 4 years, so. Wish him the best, and we'll see where he goes next. Who do you think's going to get that job?
Yeah, and by the way, Tyson Summers named the interim head coach, the former Georgia Southern head coach, who did pretty bad at Georgia Southern at 5-13 at Georgia Southern, but he's been a head coach before. So I mean, at least you got someone that's been a head coach in college football to ride out the rest of the season. Who gets that? I think this job is more attractive than people think. I think if you've been to Fort Collins, it is an awesome fucking town.
Yeah,
they have a brand new stadium that is nice. And then they have, I think they to me they are sleeping giant. I think is a term that often gets thrown around a lot, but I think some of it by us. I mean, I feel like we said this about Cincinnati and San Diego State and stuff, and I still stand in Houston. And I still stand by those, but I think Colorado State fits that as well. You go to Fort Collins, I don't understand. And then like the school has money. So I think they should be a bowl team every year. I think they have great facilities. I heard Rick Neuheisel talking about this, that he thinks they have better facilities than UCLA. So, it's an attractive job. And I think they should demand much better. And, so who gets it? I'm very curious. I mean, the first thing that would jump in my head, and I saw Oregon State said they might be interested in Nick Rolovich. That's one that pops right off. Now,
yeah,
maybe with the ties to there's some familiarity there. Matt Mummy and Timmy Chang and Rolovich and stuff. So maybe it's too close to home. But that's one that obviously I think would be a smash hire right away, because I think he was very awesome at Hawaii, and I thought he was getting Washington State to a level that I thought would work for him. I know Skip Holtz was an assistant there back in the day, but Skip's old. I think they're going to go with someone younger. I personally think like they're going to want someone young, and they're not going to call Urban Meyer this time, who recommended them. What's my guy? The Boston College coach,
Bill O'Brien. No.
The Boston College coach that he's announcing now. Who's at Temple? God damn it. This is the NyQuil talking. Chad, help me out on the Boston College Temple coach that was fired at Colorado State a couple years ago.
Oh, God. Well, yeah. God, why am I
He's bald.
Yes.
He's bald. Why am I not thinking of his name right now?
Hold on. I'm going.
I keep wanting to say a linebacker's name that played for the New York Giants in the 80s.
Steve
Adazio. Yeah, I was going to say there was a linebacker for the Giants named Steve Diassi, I think it was.
Yeah.
In the 80s. That's what I almost said. Yeah, Brent Vegan at Montana State would be very, very attractive. Chuck Martin at Miami Ohio. I think that's too old, though, man. I think they want to go younger.
Jay Hill.
That would be a fucking smash play, because he's already done it in that region at Weber State.
Yeah.
Jay Hill would be a smash hire. They should be talking to Vegan, Jay Hill, To be honest with you, I think they could probably outbid and get Jason Eck potentially too. I don't know if he would leave, but I can tell you this: I think they have a lot more money than New Mexico. So,
what about Colin Klein? The job he's doing at A&M after the job he did at K-State.
The thing would be A&M. Would you want to leave because A&M has so much money that they could outbid Colorado State. Tyson Helton from Western Kentucky. I'd be a little surprised at that, but I mean, I guess he's done such a decent job at Western that maybe that would be considered. I know that honestly, you know what they should look at also is Palasek, the head coach for North Dakota State, who was at Wyoming with Craig Bowl. That one would make a lot of sense because he is like kicked ass at North Dakota State. They have looked a lot better than Matt Entz and stuff. So I do think that one makes a lot of sense.
And I think Entz's success already would help make him even more attractive.
Yes. Because
he's doing a good job in year one at Fresno.
Yeah. And look, they fired Norvell, by the way, a week before the border war, the battle for the bronze boot. We got that going on this weekend, right? With Colorado State and Wyoming. Interesting time to fire him. They want the 1-game bump, Mac.
So did Florida. Who does Florida has a bye? Then they got Georgia. They want to beat Georgia.
They want the 1-game bump. I like the Ryan Grubb thing too. That might be attractive too. I don't think Tommy Hammock would leave personally. He's going to be in the Mountain West next year. He's getting he's a Northern Illinois guy through and through, but maybe. So hold on, let's talk about this. So we got the border war this week. It goes back to the 1800s, and I didn't fully grasp until I went to Fort Collins and I went to Laramie. They fucking hate each other. They fucking hate each other, Mac. These two universities, and it's perfect. Now, unfortunately, this thing is coming to an end in conference play because Colorado State's joining the Pac-12. They're still going to play. They have like a 3-year deal or something, 4-year deal, whatever it was, for the next 4 years or something. But I am very worried that this game is going to go away, and they've played fucking 116 times. But we get it this week. The 1-game coaching bump for the bronze boot. Are you going to take it? Because before I get your answer, Wyoming fires offensive coordinator Jay Johnson, and rightfully fucking so.
They're trying to 1-game bump each other out. I
know. Look, Jay Johnson's offense was not good. They were a terrible offense. So I didn't even like the hire when this guy was at Colorado a few years back. He was a Mel Tucker guy. Was never a big fan, but Wyoming fired him at the OC spot. So the question I would ask you, I know Wednesday, you know, our pick shows Wednesday. I'll be in Vegas doing that show with you guys, but I'm curious which is the better 1-game bump.
I think it's Norvell. Usually the dog. It usually favors the dog because it's
in Laradice though. It is in Laradice.
True.
Yeah.
I just always tend to go with the dog on the 1-game bump. So
yeah.
Hey, by the way, one other name for Colorado State, Brian Harsin.
I mean, that him and Rolovich are smash plays because they were.
You've already won in that league.
Yeah. I mean, I actually think Rolovich is. Well, let me see if I can quickly pull this up here. I mean, one of the more impressive things. I know he's a friend of ours, but I'm saying like, if you look at Hawaii football, Rolovich took over for Norm Chow. Norm Chow, in my opinion, who's now the coach of the Vienna Vikings. Shout out to Norm Chow. He's a lifer, right? Vienna, Austria, that is. All right, not Virginia. But he was a terrible, terrible head coach at Hawaii. I would argue that I think, and you're kind of seeing this again with Timmy Chang, by the way, but I think Rolovich's job was harder at the time. He walked in year one after this team. Norm Chow had gone at Hawaii 10-36. All right. And Rolovich comes in year one and wins 7 games, takes him to a bowl game. Now year two, it's at 3-9, but after that, then 8 wins, then 10 wins. I mean, I thought that was one of the best coaching jobs in like the past 20 years, personally. what Nick Rolovich did at Hawaii. Harsin did a great job too, but that machine was fine tuned with Chris Peterson. You know what I mean? So no, but Harsin was good at Arkansas State as well. So yeah, I mean either of those guys make a lot of sense. Andy Kotelnicki, would that be another one potentially?
Kotelnicki lose a little bit of juice here.
Not for Colorado State. Maybe for a Power 5. Colorado State might be the perfect gig for him.
Kotelnicki should go work for Leipold again.
He might end up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, fascinating. We'll see what happens at Fort Collins. This year's coaching cycle is going to be fucking insane. So right now, what do we have? We got. I mean, we know Stanford's on an interim basis with Frank Wright.
Maybe.
Yeah, Kent State's on an interim basis with Mark Carney. Right? We knew that coming into the season. But now you got what? Florida, Penn State, Arkansas, UCLA, Virginia Tech,
Oregon
UAB,
State.
Oregon State, and then, I mean, we are a week or two away from potentially Florida State, LSU, even USC could open. You know what I mean?
Apparently, Wisconsin's not opening.
Yeah, no, well, you know what? No, I don't buy that. That's the athletic director because he's about to get fired. No, he's staying. He's out. He'll be here for the rest of the year. Well, what happens if you're not here next week? that could change, and I think that will change actually. So I think Wisconsin's still up there. Maryland definitely is probably going to open up as well. I would assume if they lose out. There's more too. I mean, like I feel like when all those big jobs open, potentially, if all shit, we don't even know North Carolina could open too. There's a lot that could open up still.
Yeah. You might get a couple guys that'll jump ship so that they don't get fired. Like
that's what I'm saying. You got that too. Like having these big jobs open, they're going to pluck other jobs, and then it's just going to be fucking chaos. Summerall's going to leave Tulane, right? I mean, it's going to be fucking. It's going to be fun to watch. We're going to have a lot of emergency episodes to do. All right, folks, want to tell you the college football experience is brought to you by, well, us. We're part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, and the NBA tips off this week, so make sure to subscribe to the NBA Gambling Podcast for daily picks every day. So tune into the NBA Gambling Podcast wherever you get your podcast. We're also brought to you by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on football, and everything else. Their prop builders second to none. Their motto is bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. You can easily deposit, get lightning fast payouts using crypto. So head on over to mybookie.ag. And when you do, use our promo code TCESGPN for 100% bet back bonus up to $500 for new customers. That's mybookie.ag, promo code TCESGPN. And we're also brought to you by Novig. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market. And with Novig, you're getting the best prices. You should know that because it's an exchange. Novig's available in 35 different states. Download the Novig app. Get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. So get in on the action with Novig. Promo code SGPN. All right, we are back. Yeah, Kentucky's another one that can open. They're trolling you with Rich Rod.
That one will not open.
Yes. So, Mac, we got Tuesday night football that I'm very excited to talk about. Very, very excited. I actually think more excited than last week. Both these games on Tuesday, I think you can make the argument we are seeing a preview of the Conference USA Championship. Are we seeing a preview of the Conference USA Championship, Mac, when Kennesaw State heads to Florida International? Kennesaw, a road favorite, laying 3.5. The over under at 90 or 94, 49.5. And before I get your answer, I do want to let you know the current race right now. So Jack State's in first place at 3-0. Kennesaw is in second place at 2-0. And then the teams right behind that with one loss, Western Kentucky, who actually has the best. They're 3-1 because they've played 4 games because of week 0. But after that, La Tech 2-1. Liberty 2-1. FIU's 1-1, but they have a great road win, a dominating road win, and they've looked good. Missouri State's also 1-1, but they are not eligible. So I do believe personally that it is one of those 6 teams: Jacksonville State, Kennesaw State. I'm saying 2 of those will end up in the championship. I think we have this thing pigeonholed here that it'll be one of those 6 teams. I don't think I'm breaking the internet by this statement, but what do you think on the chances that this is the preview of potentially the Conference USA Championship game?
Very good chance. I mean, like you said, you got 4 out of the 6 teams that are kind of in this hunt because you throw Missouri State and Delaware out, and you got one of the undefeated teams hitting the road here. Western Kentucky was rolling before getting absolutely blown out randomly at home against FIU. So was La Tech. Everybody was crowning Western Kentucky and La Tech before they got their ass beat by both these 2 teams. So, yeah, this is a fascinating Tuesday night.
Dude, it's a great. Both games are fucking great Tuesday night games, and I would not have said that, August 20th. You know what I mean? So I mean, shout out to the season, and shout out to the coaches, Willie Simmons. We love that hire with Willie Simmons. Jerry Mack was kind of an unknown one to me that I mean, I still question why they fired Bohannon, but yeah. Mack, to his credit, I wasn't shitting on him, but I just thought, wow, I don't know what to expect. He has been really impressive at Kennesaw. When you look at Kennesaw State, they have a loss. So they're 4-2. They should be 5-1. They lost at Wake Forest 10-9 in the opener, where their kicker missed an extra point. They also missed a field goal, a chip shot that would have won them the game. So I thought, I mean, there are other losses to Indiana, who might be the best team in the nation. They're certainly, I think, going to be. Like I shouldn't say certainly, because a lot of these teams are good at the top, but I feel like Kennesaw looks the best to me out of all the teams in this USA. On eye test, they have looked the best to me. Now, yeah, Florida,
especially at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. Now, Florida International obviously brought in a new head coach as well, Willie Simmons, who's been a winner wherever he's been, whether it's Prairie View, whether it's Florida A&M, won the national celebration bowl there. When in hindsight, they played Penn State a lot tougher. Penn State, I know, won 34-0. I know Penn State's not good, but still, they beat FAU. They did have a blunder against Delaware at Pitbull Stadium, and then they got whooped by UConn. But UConn, I think, is a legit team. And Delaware, I still think, is a solid team. They go to Western Kentucky and whoop their ass. They are one that I was sold on beginning of the year as they're going to be a lot better as the season goes along. We locked up that win total over, which we're very close to hitting. But I'm curious, what are you doing here? Because 3.5, I had a hard time with it, dude. I ended up laying it with Kennesaw, but I will bet all these games, folks. I'm just saying, like, do I feel amazing about this game? I don't, but I ended up laying it, and I got a 3 at 3.5. If you can still get 3, I think Kennesaw's the play. At 3.5, you almost want to take FIU, but I went with Kennesaw. What are you doing here?
I'm going FIU, man. I know Kennesaw
had a bye. That's the only thing that, like,
does it kill their momentum?
I just think FIU, though, coming off of that huge road win, and Kennesaw having 2 weeks to sit there and study, I don't know. I had a hard time. With this one, man. And Kennesaw is quarterback proof right now. It seems like Cannabis. I know you're talking like so. Kennesaw. What Cannabis Capper's saying in the chat here is Dexter Williams, who I loved that transfer when he came in from Georgia Southern. I thought, oh, it's going to work out. He struggled. Amari Odom was the guy. I don't even think he really struggled, Dexter Williams. Odom just played really good. And so Odom missed the last week's game, but Dexter Williams, just to refresh your memory, threw for 290 yards. He was 27 of 36, 290, again, and 4 passing touchdowns against Louisiana Tech, who's one of the better defenses in the CUSA. I think they're good. They have a good problem in a way. Both quarterbacks are capable. FIU on the other side, it's interesting. They have, first off, Jenkins, their quarterback, is questionable. But the other guy, Joe Pizanski, this is another guy that at times has looked all right. I think it was the UConn game, came in and looked all right. I'm on Kennesaw. I am also on the I am going to take the under 49.5. I don't love that, but what are you doing here?
I'm going to battle you and take Willie Simmons. I'm going to ride the momentum. I know they had the 3 turnovers, and they're not going to probably get that advantage again, but they dominated the line of scrimmage. They had almost 500 yards of offense against Western Kentucky. Simmons and company, they're going to get better and better throughout the year. I think this is a tight game. I think they're going to knock off Kennesaw and hand them their first loss. And I think this race is going to heat up in the season.
Yeah, that's fine. This is a great game. Yeah. We got a battle at Pitbull Stadium. Kennesaw won last year 27-26 too. Let's go. Dundee on these Owls. Mack on these Sunblazers. Great. Frank, I don't think you need to pay the juice. I think the 3 is out. At least it was like 2 or 3 o'clock this afternoon when I bet it.
There is a 3 out there.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'll take my 3.5 though.
There you go. Folks, want to tell you the college football experience is also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, Underdog's a great place to play fantasy pick'em where you can win up to 500 times the amount of money you enter. Simply pick higher or lower on your favorite player stats projections. It's available in a ton of different sports as well. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers too. Play $5, get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with our promo code TCESGPN. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm is crushing it in college football and NFL with their picks and props. Rhythm is also giving away weekly cash prizes just for tracking your bets in the app. Track 5 bets of the same type from any model that you build, and you could win $1,000. So jump on over there. Use the promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app, and that'll give you 25% off your first month at Rhythm. That's RITHMM. Download Rhythm and use the promo code SGPN25. All right, so we touched on Kennesaw and FIU. Now, the only problem is these games are 30 minutes apart, but most people should have 2 TVs by now, unless, I don't know. If not, it is a little bit of a bitch. But next up, in Ruston, Louisiana, Western Kentucky is taking on Louisiana Tech. La Tech is laying 3.5 at home. The over-under is at 50.5. Okay. This series goes back to 1939. You got to love it. I mentioned this already. Both teams right there, sitting there in striking distance to play for the CUSA championship. But you got to think whoever gets dealt the loss here, it's going to be hard to potentially get back. That's what makes this a huge Tuesday night for really both teams, but more specifically this game. Especially if it goes like you or FIU beats Kennesaw, then they still both have 1 losses or 1 losses. This is like, this one's tough because the team that the loser here is really dealt a blow no matter what. One thing that I find fascinating is La Tech's defense. It's like a top 60 defense in college football, which is surprising. Historically, under Sonny Cumbie, their defense has been trash until last year. La Tech's coming off the bye. Western Kentucky is obviously coming off a really embarrassing loss. Tyson Helton, we were talking about him for the Colorado State job earlier. They have a top 50 offense, 48th in the nation. I'm seeing right now in total yards, 14th in the nation in in passing. Here's the fun of this game is La Tech is 124th in offense right now. They're a bottom 13 offense. So something's got to give here because you have the top 15 passing offense in Western Kentucky with Maverick McIntyre. He'll figure it out. Going up against and by the way, La Tech's pass defense, the weaker of the two. Their rush defense is what's been phenomenal. It's a top 25 rush defense, La Tech. But I find it fascinating because La Tech the defense has got them to this point at 4-2 while Western Kentucky's offense is what got them to this point. Something's got to give. I'm on the Tops plus 3.5. I'm also on the over 50.5 in this game. What are you doing here?
I'm all over Western Kentucky here. Foxhole spot. You've just got embarrassed at home by what? The 2 scores when you were a double-digit favorite. This is a they call this on the main show the Close Your Eyes special here. I mean, you underperformed the spread by like 3 touchdowns. Love Western Kentucky. Love Helton and company. Give me the better coach late in the year. Game he's got to have. Helton will have those guys ready to go. And it's a revenge. Louisiana Tech last year beat Western Kentucky in Bowling Green.
12-7.
12-7.
Just,
I mean, what the hell?
What am I doing taking the over? I'm still going back to the well. Give me the fucking over, man.
I'm on both dogs and both unders here. Yeah, let's go Tops. Tuesday night dogs.
We both agree there. So lock up Western Kentucky. And that concludes our Tuesday picks. Remember, tomorrow night's show, we will cover all of the games for all the weeknight games for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That includes the 2 FCS games on Friday. No, there's no D2 or D3 games, unfortunately, this week. Get your shit together, subdivisions. All right, now it's time for the Dantabase Top 25, which, as you well know, we have music here. Actually, I think that's for the land down under. I'm sorry. The Dantabase Top 25. We don't have music, so it's just.
And you know what? I'm jacked about another opportunity.
Look, the Dantabase Top 25. Let's get to it because people wonder. People are wondering. The streets are talking. It is brought to you by Patty C. And here we go. At number 25. And if you're wondering, if you're a first-time listener, the Dantabase Top 25 is my top 25, and I think I make a lot more sense than all these schmucks out there that voting for the Associated Press, and frankly, the College Football Playoff Committee too, because they're all biased. I don't even wonder how much. Some of the guys are like 78 years old. Have you ever seen a 78-year-old watch 12 hours of football? I have not. All right, they fall asleep 16 times. Along the way. So anyway, at number 25, I got the TCU Horned Frogs. Mac, TCU, and look, I had a hard time figuring this out, and this was my logic here. So there's a bunch of 5-2 teams out there in America in the Power 5. I was looking for ones that had A, road wins, and B, wins against teams with a winning record. Power 5 teams with teams with a winning record. And they did. First off, they did go to Chapel Hill. Obviously, North Carolina's not great, but they did smack North Carolina by 1,000. They also have some nice wins against SMU and Baylor, who have winning records. And also, that loss at Arizona State was a very, very close game, and TCU was up like 90% of that game. I think you should take that into context there. They also have a win against Colorado, but they did lose to Kansas State, and that was a bad loss, double-digit loss. TCU at 25. At 24, I have the Arizona State Wildcats. Yes, we do have a head-to-head matchup. They did beat TCU there, but another thing is one of their losses, they didn't have their best player on the team, Sam Levitt, and the other loss was a game that, frankly, if it wasn't for a blown assignment, they would have won. But they did lose at Mississippi State. But I do think context should matter. You lost in heartbreaking fashion in a game you were up the final couple minutes of the game. So do you agree with Arizona State being above TCU? They have the same record, and there's a head-to-head. I think it's pretty easy, right?
And they just had a top 10 win.
Yeah.
And a huge win, and like you said, one of their losses was without Levitt in Salt Lake City. So yeah, I don't think it's much of a debate, to be honest.
Yeah. Joe, my logic on these decisions is basically looking at road wins. Road wins are the first thing. How many times you've beaten teams with winning records matter. You should be factoring all that in in my opinion, like the AP and the College Football Playoff Committee's rankings are fucking a joke. Sometimes, I mean, like this bitch.
But as far as what my votes are and what my process is, I wake up early in the morning after covering a game late in the night before. Don't want to go too much.
I mean, look.
She doesn't want to get too much into it.
Do you know she had, I think, LSU at 14 this week?
Oh, God.
14.
Who'd they beat? Clemson?
They don't have a win against a team with a winning record in the Power 5. I think La Tech is their best win. La Tech is their best win. At number 23, I have the James Madison Dukes. And the logic here is this. They're 6-1. And what really helped them, in my mind, is the fact that
Louisville.
Yeah, their loss. They played Louisville. They probably should have beat Louisville. And okay, their losses to Louisville, but Louisville just went on the road. They're a one-loss team. And then JMU just destroyed Old Dominion by more than Indiana did. So, in my opinion, JMU just definitely deserves to be ranked out of the group of 5. So I have the Dukes at 23.
Hey, please give us JMU Indiana in the playoff.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing. So,
Signetti.
I enjoy the chat. At 22, I have the Utah Utes. Holy War loss. They're a team now that has 2 losses, but both teams are in the top 10. For FYI, both teams are still in the top 10 to me. I still have Texas Tech in the top 10, and I have BYU in the top 10. So I don't think there is much. And to me, the road wins. They have a lot of road wins. They've won at UCLA. They've won at Wyoming, at West Virginia. They also beat Arizona State, who I have ranked as well. I know Sam Levitt didn't play, but they also won by 32. Right? That shit matters. UCLA win looks better and better, and they beat UCLA by 33 points. Yes, Wyoming is flirting around 500, but they still dominated at a very tough place to win, highest altitude in the country. And then they destroyed West Virginia, which, Matt, cover your ears. Everybody's doing that. But still, that was in Morgantown, far trip across the country. Utah at 22 as they drop down from the top 10 to number 22. At 21, I have the Irish of Notre Dame. Finally, they're back. I didn't do a preseason poll because they're all bullshit. But look, Notre Dame at 21, I think they're the best. They have the best resume for a team with 2 losses, in my opinion, as far as the teams they lost to. Also, if you're playing the game of like who's the team with the winning record they've beat, USC and Boise State both have winning records. NC State also has a winning record currently. And then you look at their losses. A&M 7-0. They're in my top 10. Miami is right there, 5-1. We will get to them. Yeah. That's the logic there. Did I just realize something? I think we might have to make an adjustment. I've been not feeling the greatest today, if I'm being honest. And I've been taking some Dayquil, some NyQuil. I just realized that when I dropped Miami, I didn't put them in this. So consider it number 22, Notre Dame. Let me just quickly adjust this, Mac. But your thoughts on the Irish being the top 2-loss team in this mix?
Yeah, I could see it because Notre Dame has also won 5 in a row. They've definitely turned a corner, and their 2 losses combined by 4 points, and A&M has looked as good as anybody in the country, and Miami had looked as good as anybody in the country before Friday night when they got Cristobal. They got a big road win at Arkansas, tough place to play, and then USC and Boise wins have aged pretty well, especially the Boise one as they continue to roll. So yeah, I could see it. I mean, I don't like Notre Dame, but I'm not going to fight you on it.
Yeah, I mean, they have 3 teams with winning records currently. Now we'll
Yeah.
see what NC State ends up. We'll see what USC ends up, but I think you have to factor those things in when doing this. So, but consider Notre Dame 22. So consider all these numbers one number off now moving forward. My apologies. At number 21, I would have then the Missouri Tigers. They're the last ranked 1-loss team to me. They did get a road win, Mac. They finally hit the road and they got a road win, barely, but they got it. They got it. Now, granted, it is against a team that is 3-4 currently, but some of their resume got better. Not a lot of it, but the Alabama loss looks a little bit better after Alabama destroys Tennessee. So shout out to the Missouri Tigers there. The rest of their schedule, though, as far as like it's funny how you judge it, because it's like, well, Kansas didn't play last week. Louisiana lost again. South Carolina lost again. UMass lost again. So a lot of their resume got worse, with the exception of the team that beat them, Alabama, right? Alabama's basically responsible for them even being fucking ranked. So yeah, Missouri at number 21. At number 20, I got the Cincinnati Bearcats. Obviously their resume got a little bit worse with, they moved up a spot from last week, but, their resume got a little bit worse in a way, because Nebraska and Bowling Green both took losses. And obviously Oklahoma State's not very good, but, UCF did win. That helped their resume. But really them winning in general. Also, they played and destroyed a team by 32 points, a Power 5, even though it's probably the worst Power 5. I think they're worthy of moving up a spot. Bearcats at 20. At number 19, I have the Louisville Cardinals. Yeah, I mean, look, it's a shame you lost to Virginia, but great win. You never trailed on the road at a top 10 team. That's pretty fucking impressive. You went wire to wire without trailing on the road.
Dominated the game.
Yeah, on the road. That is impressive to me. They also have another road win at Pitt, by the way, who's 5-2 currently. So 2 really big road wins there. And that home win over JMU is looking pretty good as well. It's just that loss to Virginia by 3 there that is hurting them. At number 18, I have the Tulane Green Wave. Yes, their resume took a hit when Ole Miss lost to Georgia, but at the same time, you had East Carolina win on Thursday night against Tulsa. You also had Northwestern. That Northwestern win continues to look better and better. Northwestern's in what? They're tied for like second place or third place in the
Big Ten.
In the Big Ten, I think it's third place right now in the Big Ten. So a 20-point win against a Northwestern team that's 5-2. Also, they have a win against Duke. I know Duke lost this week, but Duke's still with a winning record. And that's the logic there. At number 17, I have the Navy Midshipmen. I actually think they're one of the harder teams to rank. They're clearly the last team you rank of undefeated teams. They didn't play this week, but they didn't lose. And Mac, their resume actually took a boost because UAB beat Memphis. And also, Temple and Air Force got wins. So without them playing, they move up a spot because 3 of the 4 teams that they've played, now they played an FCS. I'm not, paying attention to that one. I pay attention to what they're doing, the FCS, but I'm saying it didn't really move the meter. The 3 teams out of the 4 that won moved the meter. And that's why Navy moves up 1 spot, the midshipmen at number 16. I'm sorry, at number 17. At number 16 is the Oklahoma Sooners. Oklahoma's resume within the SEC, or the Michigan win got better, the non-con win. And the Temple win did improve slightly. Temple is continuing to look better and better. So that's making Oklahoma look a little bit better. Texas won as well, despite them having like 160 yards of offense. That helps the resume. Auburn losing does hurt the resume a little bit there, but the Sooners at number 15, or I'm sorry, at 16, gosh, or at 14. What am I on here?
16.
Right? 16. Geez. Anyway, your thoughts on Oklahoma? Oh, you have Navy. Would you agree on Navy's not even ranked on some of these things, but they're fucking undefeated. Yeah,
I know. I was just getting ready to say, how the hell are Navy not ranked? They're undefeated. I know that they've won a couple close games, but when you're 6,
and these idiots that vote too, always they vote with like last year's rankings in mind. It's like, well, Navy was good last year. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Shouldn't you then? In fact, if you're holding the same standard to some of these other schools based on their history, as in last year or the year prior, Navy was good. Newberry was good last year at Navy. So
like, how is Texas ranked and Navy's not?
Texas being ranked is a fucking joke. It's an absolute fucking joke. Yeah. It just shows how corrupt it is. All right, at number 15, I have the Virginia Cavaliers. Obviously, it wasn't the sexiest of wins, but you did win against Washington State, a team that is 3-4. But your resume looked a little bit better because Coastal Carolina has all of a sudden found something. So Coastal Carolina goes into App and wins, and they look like they could potentially be heading to a bowl now, as Coastal now has a winning record. Also Stanford, the win over Stanford looks a lot better because they beat Florida State. Now, obviously they have a win against Florida State, so that looks worse, but the win over Louisville looks fantastic because Louisville goes into Miami Gardens and wins. Also, William and Mary in the FCS, with a big win this weekend as well in a pivotal game for them in the CAA. That's the logic on the Wahoos. And another thing is their loss is on the road to a team with a winning record on, it came down to the final play of the game. So, you agree with UVA being a top 15 team?
It's wild to say, isn't it?
It is very, very.
Yeah,
very
I do
wild.
agree. That win in Louisville carries a lot of weight.
Yeah, it does. It does, man. And then look at number 14, I have the Houston Cougars. I actually had a fun exercise I was doing with Houston against Virginia. So Virginia doesn't have many road wins. I mean, they're 1-1 on the road, right? And Houston is 6-1. You could say that I think Virginia's schedule has been more challenging than Houston's. But Virginia's loss is to NC State, a team that is not ranked. Houston's is to Texas Tech, who I have in my top 10, right? So, the loss for Houston is a much better opponent based on the system currently. But then even though their road trips have been to, you could argue, shitty teams, and I think I would agree with that, being it that it's Rice, Oregon State, and Oklahoma State. Rice would be the best of the three record-wise, but they have hit the road more, and they're 3-0 on the road, which is very impressive to me. That's why I put them ahead. It was a very hard exercise to do because I was like, man, Virginia's meat on the bone is a little bit better, but at the same time, Houston would be undefeated, arguably, because they played better opponents than Virginia. Texas Tech is better than anyone Virginia's played, in my opinion. So, now, who would you have ranked higher?
Houston with their road wins, and then, I guess it's the Big 12 bias in me. I think the Big 12 is better than the ACC.
I just think a loss to NC State is much worse than a loss
Correct.
to Texas Tech.
Yeah, that's And I can't believe they lost to NC State now, looking back on it.
They're up like 90% of that game, and they're gonna kick themselves.
But it was a non-con loss.
It was a non-con loss, which is even more hilarious. So at 14, I have Houston. At number 13, I have the South Florida Bulls. They look good. Their resume was interesting because what Miami ended up losing, and that was the team that beat them. But so I'm giving you the Dantabase top 26 this week, but they destroyed FAU, and obviously Florida won. That made that Florida win look better as they got closer to 500. But the real thing is Boise won, and Boise beat a very, I don't believe UNLV is very good, but their ranking was. They were top 25 last week. And they beat Boise by 27 points. South Florida did. So resume got better. Also, North Texas did stick it to UTSA. So at number 13, I have the South Florida Bulls. Do you agree with them being top 15 right now, Mac?
They're rolling, man. And they've got multiple impressive road wins.
Yeah. Yeah. And then this is my fuck up, and once again I apologize. Giving you the Dantabase top 26, folks. You're very lucky. You are the lucky winners tonight. But at number 12, I have the Miami Hurricanes. See, I quickly made this while I was spewing gibberish. Miami's resume, obviously the Notre Dame win continues to look better. And Florida won. It's the problem is though you never won. You never had the lead against Louisville. So it's tricky. Miami's, this is one where I currently ignored the head-to-head. You remember that we had this kind of situation with Alabama and Vanderbilt the week after Alabama and Vanderbilt. I put Vandy ahead of Alabama. I think this will work itself out. Like next week, I think, or the week after, I think it'll work itself out. But I thought right now Miami's wins are better than Louisville's, despite Louisville's head-to-head.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So yeah. So anyway, that was the logic there on having the Canes at number 12. Next up, we have Ole Miss at number 11. I think we're good, right? These Rebels I actually thought they were going to win the game. Watching that game for like 75% of this game, I was like, fuck, I think Ole Miss might win this thing. So they played very well. 1-score loss at Georgia. Their resume, though, did take a hit because LSU lost. Georgia State's terrible. They lost. Washington State lost to Virginia. Arkansas lost. Kentucky lost. The only thing that helped them in losing was Tulane beating Army on a deflection. Even that one. They almost had every team on their resume lose. Ole Miss at number 11. Where do you put Ole Miss?
I was going to say top 10, but I want to see who's in front of them. They've been impressive.
Well, who's in front of them? These Oregon Ducks. Quack, quack. Well, here's the thing with Oregon. So what Ole Miss, you can make the case that Ole Miss's best win. Is it LSU or is it Tulane? What would you give it?
Probably Tulane because of the way they beat them too.
Fair. Well, if like I said, this is all subjective. Any poll is fucking subjective. And Oregon though just beat they went cross country and just beat a Rutgers team by 46. Now Rutgers is 3-4. That's not a team with a winning record, but I still think that's pretty impressive. Their only loss is to a team. The loss to Indiana is better than a loss to Georgia. Would you agree? Right now?
Yes.
Okay. Then they have a win against Northwestern by 20, and Northwestern is currently in third place. I don't think that's a great win, but I can't. I'm trying to remove my opinion of the great win and just look at the facts. The facts are Northwestern's 5-2 in third place in the Big Ten right now, and they have a 20-point win at their place.
That Northwestern win is aging well.
I mean, it's working for Tulane too, so it is helping Ole Miss in a way because Tulane's best win is at Northwestern or at home against Northwestern.
Hilarious.
So that's the logic there. on the Ducks. The Ducks have also they have also what? They have so they've won. They're undefeated on the road, whereas Ole Miss has a loss on the road. So I don't know. It's a good debate, Ole Miss or Oregon. At number 9, I have them Dogs. I don't think you have to debate them because they beat Ole Miss, but also they beat Tennessee, who has a winning record
in Knoxville.
What's that?
It said in Knoxville.
Yeah, and they also beat Auburn, even though Auburn has a losing record. But I'll tell you one thing that's helping them also too. Marshall keeps winning and looking good. They're 4-2. Who are these thundering herd? They also share a common opponent with Ole Miss and Kentucky. So there's that too. The Dogs at number 9. At number 8, I have Texas Tech. So this is, I think, so comparing Georgia and Texas Tech's resume is interesting because Texas Tech has a 4-point loss and where they had the lead with a minute left or whatever, with their backup quarterback. Now, do I think that's a crock of shit because Baron Morton's injured every game? I do, right?
And the backup.
When's the last time this motherfucker was healthy? But I also believe if we're going to validate that, if we're using that for other examples, then you have to do it there, right? Even though I know that Baron Morton's injured all the time. But, so Texas Tech, you have to take that with a little bit there. And also, they have a 20-point win, or I guess it was, wasn't it like 35-10? So, 25-point win, I think it was, against Houston, who is currently 6-1. They also have a win against Kansas, who has a winning record. They also have a win at Utah, who is 5-2. So that's the logic there on them. I think the resume is a little bit better, slightly, than Georgia's. Would you have Texas Tech above Georgia?
Yes.
Okay.
I think they have the better resume.
Yeah.
You got to take away the brand name. I know the SEC fans say no way, but I mean, Tech.
Got to take all that shit out of there.
Tech's been all that shit out of there. Outside of one game in Tempe.
Then at number 7, I have the Vanderbilt Commodores. They look amazing to me. And but here's the thing: is their resume actually? Virginia Tech was on bye. Georgia State is fucking terrible. They lost again. South Carolina lost. The only thing that helped them this weekend was Alabama sticking it to Tennessee, and then Utah State beating San Jose State, and obviously Vandy beating LSU helped their resume too. So I got the Doors at number 7. At number 6, I got the Crimson Tide. Roll Tide. Yeah, the head-to-head matters here, and then the fact also. I mean, you can make. I know the Florida State loss looks worse, but Missouri goes into Auburn. Georgia takes down Ole Miss. Those are 2 wins on Alabama's resume. I know the other ones don't look as good. Wisconsin continues to look terrible. ULM also took a loss. But, I think you have to put Alabama above Vandy right now. Would you agree?
You have to because, I mean, you got to put them over Georgia and Vandy because the resumes are similar and they beat them both head-to-head. Yeah. Alabama's really had a nice little resume over the last 4 weeks.
They have, man. At number 5, I have the BYU Cougars. You know what's funny, dude?
Undefeated.
They're undefeated. Their resume, just look, I want to compare these. So at number 4, I have Texas A&M. I had a hard time with this because A&M has the road win at Notre Dame, which looks great, right? But their other road win is at Arkansas, the team with a losing record, right? And then their home wins are to Florida and Auburn, which have losing records, right? BYU is 7-0. They just beat Utah, who has a winning record. Arizona is still clinging to a winning record, right? At 4-3 in the conference. They have a win at Arizona. They also have a win at ECU, at Colorado. They have more road wins. They also, that Stanford 27-3 win looks a little bit better as Stanford sticks it to Florida State. I ended up putting BYU behind them because I was still just like, okay. But you can make an argument, I think, that BYU's resume, because they've been on the road more, is better than A&M's. So
it is. I would have put BYU I would have put BYU ahead of them. A&M barely played any road games outside of Notre Dame.
Well, and A&M's how about this? A&M's road games. Now, I guess you could say the same with BYU here. BYU's played more road games. A&M won by what was that, 1 or 2 against Notre Dame?
Yeah.
Right. And that won, right? Came down to the final seconds of the game.
And then won by 3 at Arkansas.
That's what I'm saying. And 3 at a bad Arkansas, whereas BYU against, by definition right now, Arizona is defined as a decent team. They're 4-3. They win. Now, granted, took everything over time. At Colorado, a team 3-4, 3-point win. At ECU by 21. ECU currently has a winning record. I know it's a group of 5, but still, I mean, it's a fun matchup to compare. I put BYU at 5. And shout out to BYU's was that their athletic director or is that the booster? I forget, that said, "I'll pay for it. We stormed the field. I don't give a shit. Let's pay for it. $50,000. I'll write it right now."
Storm it, baby. They beat Utah 3 in a row. Storm that field.
Did you see? Was it the athletic director or the school president was crowd surfing? I think it was the athletic director. It's a great video.
All those people sober in their crowd.
Shout out to that. At number 4, though, I have Texas A&M. I've made my case kind of already. I have a future for them to play in the college football playoffs. I'm excited about. Hopefully they don't botch this, but I think they're in a good spot. And at number 3, I have the Georgia Tech. They dropped back 1 game despite winning. What? Dundee, how? You had them number 2 last week. They won
at Duke.
And that's a win against a team with a winning record. The problem is the resume took some hits. Clemson lost. All right. So that Clemson now has a losing record. That was why they dropped. And I'll be honest, that was it. A lot of the other teams were on bye, like Wake and Virginia Tech were on bye. Colorado was on bye. But the problem is at number 2, I have Ohio State, and boy, did their resume take a major boost this week. And even though I think we were even on the recap show saying I wish they've played better competition, but when you look at it right now, Mac, I know they just destroyed Wisconsin, Ohio State 7-0, but Texas did beat Kentucky. Texas has a 5-3 or a 5-2 record right now, right? So that win looks better. Ohio destroys Northern Illinois, and they now have a winning record. They were 3-3 before last week. Minnesota destroying Nebraska. They're now 5-2. That resume continues to look better. Illinois did not play, so they didn't lose. Washington did lose, but I do think the resume for Ohio State improved so much that I had to move them up to number 2. And at number 1, I have the Indiana Hoosiers, who I think have the best road resume in all of college football right now, with a win at Oregon and at Iowa, who is currently has a good record, a winning record as well, at 5-2, I believe. Curious what you think of the top 5.
I would have had Georgia Tech at 2 still, because they got 3 road wins compared to Ohio State's 2.
That's true, but I'm just saying, like, there's not a lot. It's tricky because Ohio State's teams they face, short of Wisconsin, all have winning records now. So it's like,
Minnesota looks better.
Yeah, looks a lot better at 5-2. So, yeah.
So I would have flipped 3-2, and I would have flipped 4-5.
Okay.
Indiana's one though. Indiana's one.
I think in the future you're gonna have to do your McIntyre top 25. And we compare. All right, now let's jump on over to the land down under, where everything is hypothetical and nothing is fact. Yes, it is time for the Dantabase Land Down Under, where we quiz Moneyline Mac on a lot of fun bullshit about college football. This is bullshit. We talk college football bullshit, yeah. We talk college football bullshit, yeah. All right.
The best.
the land down under, Mac. Look, Ole Miss will be a playoff team this season. Yes or no?
Yes.
Wow. Oh, wouldn't that be great for Oxford, Mississippi? Michigan will be a playoff team this season, Mac.
No.
Ooh, okay. Arizona State will be a playoff team this season, Mac.
No. No repeat in Tempe. Only Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin gets there.
Shout out to ATL Sports Fan. This land down under music. Well, I had the real down under music, and then I got sued by them. What's the name of that band again that sued us? God damn it! You come from a land down under. I don't know.
Yeah.
They sued me though. It was a good sign that our show got successful enough.
Doing better.
Where they hit me with that. They hit me with that potential lawsuit. I said, "Yo, okay." So it turned into random Sega Genesis music from 1993.
Hey, I want to expand on the Michigan one. The problem with Michigan is they potentially will have two tie-breaking losses to Oklahoma and USC, who we both think could be 9-3.
I fully high probability. Actually, Oklahoma could be worse based on that schedule remaining. But
yeah,
I think USC is in a decent spot to go 9-3.
Yeah. But if Oklahoma goes 9-3 and USC, they have the tiebreaker most likely over Michigan.
Well, the top 25 just completely ignored the AP. Just completely ignored USC. They have Michigan ranked, USC not. They have the same record, and just 9 days ago, 9 days ago, USC beat them by double digits.
Yeah, then USC lost at Notre Dame, and they dropped them out.
What? No. What are we doing here?
Make it make sense.
Yes. Next up, in the land out under, where we talk college football bullshit. Mac, which coach has done the best job? First year coach. Frank Wright at Stanford, Tony Gibson at Marshall, Jason Eck, New Mexico, Casey Keeler at Temple. And I want you to power rank these.
Damn. You got some good ones here.
Oh yeah. I hit you. I knew this one would have you fucking guessing. You need another cocktail run just for me hitting you with this fucking one.
What's Stanford overall now?
3-4.
Nah,
they've already hit their win total over.
Yeah. So Marshall's hit their over, New Mexico's hit their over, and Temple. All four have hit their overs.
Cannabis Capper saying Jason Eck, it's not close. I don't know, buddy. I think these are close. Temple looks great. Temple should have beaten Navy last week on a horseshit, or I guess 2 weeks ago now. Horseshit missed call on a huge false start by Navy's guard. I think it's a tough question, man. I do think I'd probably answer Eck 1, but I don't know. Keeler might be 1 for me too, dude. I think Temple passed the eye test to me too.
Gibby.
I know. All four have been great. All four have been and Gibby and Reich are ones that I didn't necessarily think this year would be the year that they prove their worth. So answer your question. What's the pecking order here?
I'm going to go Keeler 1, Eck 2, Gibby 3, and then Reich 4. But watch out, Jamie. You got to go to Huntington here in 2 weeks, and they're only 1 game back with the win over ODU and Texas State.
Yeah, and I should mention that Temple's losses, by the way, Oklahoma, who's 6-1, Georgia Tech, who's 7-0, so 13-1, and then Navy, who's 6-0. So teams that are 19-1 are the Temple losses.
Yeah.
Perhaps they're better than their record, I would say.
Way better.
Yeah. And they should have beat Navy.
Yeah, they're still in the race, man, for that AAC.
Yeah.
I mean, they get a lot of those teams at home, I believe, down the stretch. Yeah, I mean, they got to go to North Texas, but that doesn't.
I think they could win that thing. I mean, Casey Keeler, those are his defensive players at North Texas. So,
yep.
Yeah. Out of these 4, not the next coach in all of college football, out of these 4 candidates, I want the order on who will get fired next out of these 4. And then, first, second, third, fourth. Brian Kelly at LSU, Lincoln Riley at USC, Jonathan Smith at Michigan State, Bill Belichick at North Carolina.
I feel like this segment, we keep getting somebody fired every week.
I kind of went though because I was like, I don't know that any of these will be happening next week. Yeah. I think this is one where I was like, this is kind of a thought out answer of like, this could happen next year, it could happen this year, it could happen, 2 years down the road potentially.
I think it's the order you have on the screen. I think Brian Kelly's the most likely.
I mean, dude, if Belichick loses by like 50 next week.
Hey, they were competitive at Cal. It's only year one. I know the fucking Jordan thing is fucking weird and annoying, but it just keeps getting weirder.
Joe in the chat somewhat agrees with you. He has Riley behind Jonathan Smith, though.
I don't think Sparty's crazy enough to fire coach in year 2. I think they'll give him a year 3. But those first 2, and they were hot commodities when they left their old stops. One left Notre Dame, one left Oklahoma. They could be 3 and done, especially at LSU, man. Yeah. LSU, like everybody in their 4th year was winning a national championship. Brian Kelly can't even make the fucking playoff with 12 teams.
And he had Daniels and Nussmeier.
Yeah, I mean, what the hell?
Like beast quarterbacks.
Jesus.
So, yeah. All right, next up in the land down under. What is the best open job right now? Or job open right now? God damn it, I can't talk. Penn State, Penn State, Arkansas, Virginia Tech, Florida, and rank these ones. It seems this one's pretty obvious for the top 2, I think. But I'm curious. Florida. Who do you go 1 there?
Penn State.
Yeah.
I think they're a little bit more realistic. And Florida hasn't been good in. I mean.
It's a little dysfunctional right now.
Yeah,
I feel totally like, and there's no president. The AD might be on the way. Like there's a lot of unknowns. Where I think you're right. I think Penn State would be 1. Yeah. Florida would be 2. Where do you go now?
Arkansas
3. Because here, I think the debate would be. I know Arkansas might have more resources than Virginia Tech, but Virginia Tech would have the easier path to the playoffs.
Could be, but I also think the other ACC teams are investing.
Yeah. Noted that Virginia Tech's a rival to West Virginia.
Virginia Tech.
All right, next up in the land out under. Oh, this one's fun. I went with there's only 3 FBS schools in South Carolina, but I went to one of the closest to South Carolina, and that is Georgia Southern. Which team will have the most wins? And I want this 1 to 4 here. Clemson, South Carolina, Coastal Carolina, Georgia Southern. Mac, the most wins on the season. So right now, if we're doing this exercise, let's start with Clemson, who is sitting there at 3-4.
Hilarious.
They have Duke at home this week, or the next. I'm sorry, not this week. Next week, after the bye week. Then they are home to Florida State. Then they are at Louisville. Then they are home to Furman, and then at South Carolina. What do you think the final record for the Clemson Tigers will be?
We did this the other night. I said 6-6 or 7-5. I'm probably going to go 7-5.
Okay, so now let's look at South Carolina here.
They're last on this.
They're 3-4 right now. Yeah, they are home to Alabama right now. Then they're at Ole Miss and at Texas A&M. Then they play Coastal Carolina at home and Clemson. So you're saying they're getting out of there with 4 wins? Or are they going to go 4-8?
4-8.
All right. Well, Coastal Carolina is already 4-3. Their remaining schedule, home to Marshall, who's red hot.
That's a big game in that damn.
Yeah, red hot. That's next Thursday. I should go to that game. I might go to that game. Then home to Georgia State, who's trash this year.
Yeah.
Then they're at Georgia Southern, at South Carolina, at home to James Madison.
Man. 2-3, 6-6.
So Clemson is still your correct answer right now.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Georgia Southern though, and the great Clay Helton, who seems to go 6-6 or 7-6 every year, with the bowl win in like the Bahamas. But he They are currently 3-4. They are at Arkansas State, then followed by at Appalachian State, then home to Coastal Carolina, home to Old Dominion, and at Marshall. He's going to get fired this year.
I think he's going 5-7. Yeah, I think he's going 5-7. So I'll go Clemson, Coastal, Georgia Southern, South Carolina.
What a fun exercise. What other podcasts hitting you with this regionality, this just nonsense regionality fun? All right. I think I agree with you. I could see South Carolina getting more than Georgia Southern, though. I could see a scenario. All they need is one up with Williams-Brice. They could catch Clemson. They could catch, some of these teams that we're just thinking.
They just seem so dead right now.
Yeah. No, you're right. Clemson is the team I would have the most confidence in. Coastal probably second. All right. Next up. And the land down under, the most counterfeit team out of these four, and then rank them: Michigan, LSU, Georgia Tech, Tennessee.
I think number one is LSU.
Yeah, I would agree.
They haven't looked good all year.
Their offense is trash, dude.
Yeah,
and they can't run the ball. I would agree. Now, who's number two?
Who's Tennessee beat?
Syracuse and Mississippi State. Needed overtime against Mississippi State.
I kind of think it's going to be Tennessee 2, Michigan 3, Georgia Tech 4.
Okay. I think I agree. Damn it. I was hoping you would mix that up, but I think I agree exactly. All right. Best team in the SEC out of these: Oklahoma, Tennessee, Georgia, Vanderbilt, and rank them.
Tennessee 4. They're the worst out of these teams.
I agree.
Oklahoma 3.
I agree.
I'm so down to the. I can't believe. I think I'm going to go Georgia 1, Vandy 2. It's close.
See, finally we disagree. I have Vandy 1. I think
close.
Vandy is a more complete team than Georgia. I think they're a more complete team than Georgia right now.
I just trust Kirby more than Lee.
I mean, that's fair.
I just if they play on a neutral, even though it wouldn't be a neutral in Atlanta, I think I would take Georgia. But it'd be close, man.
I think Vanderbilt's a more complete team than Georgia this year. Now, in a big game in Atlanta, I'd probably maybe I would take Georgia too, but I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Maybe that will be the SEC championship.
That'd be great.
Next up in the land down under, most likely Mountain West championship game out of these four teams, Mac. So right now, just to let the chat know,
how'd the frauds do last week, by the way?
Yeah, we took some heat on that. By the way, before the game was played, a lot of UNLV fans calling us idiots, which we are gladly. I've never said I'm not an idiot, but we were definitely not idiots with that projection. Mac, the current conference standings in the Mountain West: Boise State at 3-0 in conference, San Diego State also undefeated at 2-0, Hawaii at 3-1. UNLV at 2-1, Fresno State 2-1, Utah State's also 2-1 as well, even though they're not on this. Most likely Mountain. I knew you were pro Mendenhall, so I want to remove that from UNLV at Boise State, San Diego State at Boise State, Fresno State at Boise State, or Hawaii at Boise State. What is the most likely of these four, and then rank them?
I think the most likely is, although San Diego State's only played 2 games in league play.
They're at Fresno this week. That game's really underrated.
And when does Hawaii play? I think it might be Hawaii, man. They get San Diego State at home.
I know. And they get Wyoming, which I think is good because I think Wyoming
to
the islands.
And if they can split the 2 road games at San Jose and at UNLV.
And at UNLV, remember, they have a huge crowd in Vegas. Hawaii does. Yeah.
I think it's Hawaii. I think Hawaii's 1. I can't believe this. Then San Diego State 2, and then Fresno 3, and then UNLV 4. UNLV is not making it.
Now, would you put Utah State above all those?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. See, I know you well.
Calhoun, Mendenhall, let's go.
Yeah.
I mean, I am worried about this week though. They gotta go to fucking Albuquerque in the revenge game.
That place is gonna be on fire for that one. All right, next up in the land down under. Most likely to play in the MAC championship. Ball State, Central Michigan, Bowling Green, or Toledo MAC. And currently the MAC rankings.
I was going to say, let me get the standings up.
So Buffalo is 3-0. Miami, Ohio is 3-0. Western Michigan's 3-0. Western Michigan and Miami, Ohio play this weekend. A huge game in the MAC in Oxford. After that, Ball State's 2-1. Central Michigan's 2-1. Toledo is 2-2, and Bowling Green is 1-2, but they have the tiebreaker on Toledo. And they also play UMass.
It's a headache.
This one's hard, right? This one,
it's got to be Toledo, right? I mean,
they have more losses.
I know.
And Bowling Green has the tiebreaker on them if they were to catch up to that. Western also has the tiebreaker on them as well, who was 3-0 in conference.
Maybe it's not Toledo the more I'm looking at it.
I think it might be Central.
Is it Ball State?
I was thinking it might be
I'm
Central.
with you. It's Central. Drinkle's doing a good job. They're not a fluke. I'm not putting Ball State. No. Central won. Toledo.
Central did. The only problem with Central is they lost to Akron.
I know.
Like that's a bad loss. But Central's got UMass next, and they also have Kent State down the line here, and the home schedule. Like I think Central's got a shot, dude. So this is Central's remaining schedule. First off, they're sitting there. They're what? They only have one loss in conference right now, even though it was Akron. They're home to UMass, at Western Michigan, rivalry game, home to Buffalo, at Kent State, home to Toledo.
I think it's Central.
Yeah,
I think it's Central 1, Toledo 2, Bowling Green 3, Ball State 4.
Get me out of this. That's what you're saying. Get me out of this one. Dundee, you prick. Why'd you set me up with the wacky Mac?
I'm not giving it to the Ball State mob.
And next up in the land down under, which ACC team is most likely to play in the championship out of these four, Mac? You currently look at the ACC rankings.
Why'd you put this one on here?
And you have right now Georgia Tech is 4-0, Virginia is 3-0, SMU is 3-0, but then right after that in fourth place is the Pitt Panthers back at 3-1, followed by the Duke Blue Devils at 3-1, followed by Cal at 2-1, SMU at 3-0. So your four options, which ACC team is most likely to play in the championship game between Duke, Pitt, Cal, and SMU, and then rank them.
Let's go SMU 1.
Because they never lose regular season games to the ACC.
They're juggernaut here. Number 2, man, Duke really pissed away an opportunity this weekend.
They did, man.
Oh man, they would be 4-0, and they would be fucking right at the top. What's Duke's schedule look like?
Duke's remaining schedule.
They got to go to Clemson.
Right after this bye
and
week.
Virginia.
They host Virginia.
Yeah, they host
Virginia. Then they're at Carolina, and then they host Wake Forest.
Is Cal number 2?
Cal's schedule is great, by the way. This Friday night, they're at Virginia Tech, which I know, tough environment, cross country, but it's winnable. They won at Boston College. You can win at Virginia Tech. Then they're home to Virginia. They're hosting Virginia and Berkeley. Then they're at Louisville, which is probably going to be an automatic loss. Then they're at Stanford, rivalry game, the play, greatest play in the history of football. And then they're home to SMU.
They'll probably lose 2 more, so it's not going to be them. Whose pick got left? These fucking phonies.
All right, Pitt, home to NC State this weekend.
Narduzzi game.
At Stanford, that's the Narduzzi game.
That's the
Narduzzi game.
Narduzzi special on deck right there, right? With Notre Dame on deck after that? Oh, yeah.
Then they're at Georgia Tech and home to Miami.
Yeah, they're probably going to lose 2 as well. They're going to lose at Stanford, at Georgia Tech. Then they'll beat Miami. Let's go. SMU 1, Duke 2. Fuck Pitt. Cal 3, Pitt 4. I'm not fucking.
I love it. All right, next up in the land down under. Most boring game going into this weekend. Stanford is heading to Miami to Hard Rock Stadium.
Oh, that's good.
Wisconsin is heading to Autzen. Why? Temple is at Tulsa. Just what? Rutgers is at Purdue. Rank these as far as which is the game you is the worst to the first. Meaning
By
the one
far, Oregon. I mean, what is that? What is that number up to now? 33.5. Miami's 30.5. That's number 2. I have no interest in watching Cristobal run it up on the Tree Huggers. So those stupid ass dumb fuck games.
Rutgers Purdue is such a snooze fest though, dude. Like, just that game. I get it. The score could be close, but I'm saying like as far as programs with interest, like historically, that you're just like, man, there's something boring about both those two. As the chat sheet is agreeing with the Rutgers Purdue one being the worst.
That's the shortest line.
So Temple Tulsa's your number 1?
Yeah, just because of Keeler, I guess. Yeah, I like Keeler and Lamb. I like those coaches at least. Get this bullshit Big Ten ACC shit out of here.
So the most watchable game out of these 4 is Temple Tulsa. His worst game, Wisconsin Oregon. Second worst game would be Stanford Miami, and then I guess I said that all.
I don't think Wisconsin and Oregon is even close. That is by far the worst game. Does anybody want to watch that Wisconsin team ever again, yet alone go to fucking Eugene and watch Lanning run the score up like he did to Dundee?
Yeah, at least Stanford's showing like a fight. You know, they've gotten a little bit better over the past couple of weeks.
Fuck that game. That is the worst game of the year.
All right, next up we have most likely Big 12 championship game out of these 4. TCU against Texas Tech. Houston, Iowa State, BYU against TCU, or Utah against Texas Tech. And just to refresh people, currently the standings in the Big 12, BYU is 4-0 in conference, followed by Cincinnati at 4-0. Those are the 2 teams that control their destiny there, their fate. Behind that is Arizona State, who has the tiebreaker on Texas Tech. They are 3-1. Texas Tech is behind them, 3-1, with a tiebreaker on Houston, who's 3-1. The problem is Houston and Arizona State play this weekend. After that, Iowa State is 2-2. TCU's 2-2. Baylor's 2-2. Kansas State's 2-2. Utah's 2-2. Kansas is 2-2. You figure this out.
Did you just put like a auto generator, like what we do for the team previews, like just randomizer, and then just spits out
who's playing in the big? I asked AI who's playing in the Big 12 championship, right?
Please exclude West Virginia and Oklahoma State. Everybody else is still in play.
But here's the thing about this is what makes it so tricky is I see a BYU fan in the chat. Shout out to BYU FTB. Their schedule's fucking brutal. Yeah. So their remaining schedule, they're in Ames this weekend, followed by a trip to Lubbock, followed by a home game against TCU, and then going at Cincinnati, who's currently tied for first place with them. And then they're home to UCF. The UCF game, okay, that looks like a clear-cut win. The rest, I have no idea. I mean, the BYU right now is looking good to play in it, but not if you're just hypothesizing games in the future. It's very, very challenging. So BYU TCU is probably the least likely or the most likely? What do you think, Mac?
Who's TCU got left? Their schedule's hard as shit, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so TCU's at West Virginia. Hard game.
Yeah, there it is. No wonder I thought the schedule was hard.
No, but their remaining 4 is tough. They're home to Iowa State, at BYU, at Houston, and home to Cincinnati.
Damn.
It's Houston, Iowa State, isn't it? Or is it Utah, Texas Tech?
I think it's Utah, Texas Tech, because I think Utah has a nice schedule coming down the stretch, if I remember correctly. I could see Utah winning the last 2 or last 5, and then BYU losing 3 and falling behind, even though they beat them head to head.
So Utah's remaining schedule, they are home to Colorado this weekend.
It should be a win.
Should be a win. They're 13.5-point favorites. They are home to Cincinnati on November 1st.
They should win that.
They are at Baylor. Ooh, that's
a
tricky one.
toss-up.
They are then home to Kansas State.
Should be a win.
Then they're at Kansas. I don't know, dude. I think Houston, Iowa State is my answer.
But Iowa State's already got 2 losses.
But Iowa State's schedule remaining, like I got them beating BYU this weekend. Surprise! I'm sorry. Still check out our Wednesday show. Right. So then they are home to Arizona State on November 1st.
Yeah.
Then they're at TCU, which I do have them losing. Then they're home to Kansas, which they've had Kansas' number, I feel like, right? And then they're at Oklahoma State. I have no idea, but if 3 losses get you in? I think 3 losses will get you in, right?
Is West Virginia eliminated yet? All these teams are beating up on each other. Time out. Can K-State get back in this? The more and more I'm like looking at this shit. Like,
yes, they're still alive, dude.
They're only one game back.
Sunflower Showdown. Both teams have 2 losses.
Yeah, that's
both teams are very much. That's a huge game this weekend. Sunflower Showdown.
Yeah.
Shout out to Buck Dish in the chat here. Y'all's opinion on Tortilla Gate. Go check it out. Beginning of the episode, we talked about that for about 5 minutes. Ridiculous though.
The Big 12 is such a shit show. I will go number 1, Utah, Texas Tech, because I think they are the 2 best rosters. But I don't have a lot of conviction on that. Number 2 will go yours, Houston, Iowa State. Number 3, BYU, TC. Actually, Texas Tech, TCU, BYU, TCU. I think BYU is going to stumble just like they did last year at the end.
All right. Next up, in the land down under, only a few more, buddy. All right.
As long as it's not Big 12. Big 12 is the biggest shit show.
Your head hurts thinking about it. We're looking for these upsets. Week 9 upsets that are most likely, and rank all 4. Florida Atlantic goes into Annapolis and beats the Navy Midshipmen. Or ULM goes into Hattiesburg, welcome to the Rock, and takes down Charles Huff and Southern Miss. Or the Akron Zips head into UB Stadium and take down Pete Lembo. Nobody goes into Lembo Field and beats the Buffalo Bulls. Or Nevada at home takes down Boise State. On Friday night, nationally televised.
Dude, Nevada's number 1 because it's a personal game for Choate. He almost beat him last year in Boise.
Yeah, and remember they chose Choate was a finalist on that for that job.
Yeah.
Another thing is Boise's off of the huge UNLV win.
Oh yeah, Nevada. This is Nevada first half money line play.
Yeah.
Check out the show tomorrow night.
Wait, so 1 would be Nevada upsetting Boise. They're going to storm. That's Stormwatch if that happens.
Oh yeah.
Stormwatch. 2 would be who?
I think Akron, man. Buffalo is fucking.
I think you're right.
Buffalo is.
They're a phony undefeated MAC team right now.
Yeah, and this is a MAC. That number's not even 10 for a reason.
That might be the number 1 answer, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Like, I barely got past UMass last week.
That shit gets weird in Reno, though.
It does. It
gets weird in Reno. Late night, Friday night. Yeah. My phone's going to get fucking wiped out again if that fucking money line hits.
I actually think Florida Atlantic, this is their second option team they're facing.
Yeah, and Navy's been playing with fire. They're number 3, and then I think Southern Miss is going to fuck up ULM. So
yeah, I think I agree there. The 1 spot is the one that I think the most debatable.
Honestly, 1.5 point dog.
Oh my God, load up. Let's go. All right, next up in the land down under. What about this week 9 upset? Most likely among the Power 5 schools here. North Carolina and Chapel Hill beat Virginia in Keenan Memorial Stadium there in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Or Nico, your boy, goes on the road to Bloomington and upsets Kurt Signetti and the Indiana Hoosiers.
0% chance.
Or you just talked a lot of trash about South Carolina, but they take down Alabama, Williams-Brice Stadium. Or Boston College, what is this line? This line's like 20, isn't it?
25.5.
Boston College goes into Papa John's, whatever the fuck. whatever they're calling that shit now. Stadium to beat the Louisville Cardinals. I have my clear-cut number one, and Patty C schooled me on this one.
Yeah, it's Carolina.
It is.
The dog always wins in that game.
The dog always wins in this game. And this would be catastrophic for Virginia, by the way. Yeah. Because here they are. They think they're just smooth play, great schedule left into the ACC championship. This is the one. It's the South's oldest rivalry. Yeah. That is easily number one to me. But then number two gets a little tricky.
Cocktober. I mean, you saw that video, that dude and the chick in the porta potty having sex.
That reminded me of Preakness. That was a great video. If you haven't seen that, we need to get that. I need to pull that for the show on Wednesday.
Yes, get him for CJ. Get his analysis. Fantastic. Cocktober down there in Columbia. Yeah, they've given Alabama fits in that stadium, and Beamer's a dead dog walking here, but hey, he can pick off somebody here. It could be Alabama.
The chat is saying UCLA because they're red hot going into Bloomington.
What's this lost to Maryland at home? Now you're going to go into Bloomington and win? What are you guys talking about?
Look, I know he hates Nico, but I'm with Mac here on this. I have that one rated the least likely. Yeah. I actually think number two is Boston College at Louisville, because I think Boston College historically has fucked with Louisville. So it just that line's ridiculous, by the way. That line's ridiculous. Let's bet Boston College. Right? I know they're injured, but I don't give a fuck. They just partied at Miami. 3 would be Alabama, South Carolina to me. You had Alabama, South Carolina at number 2, right?
Yeah, just because of the history of that.
Yeah. Going to Williams-Brice. All right. Next up in the land down under. The game you want to watch most out of these 4 here. We got the Sunflower Showdown, Kansas State at Kansas. We just kind of hyped it up ourselves. SMU at Wake has major implications in the ACC. Kind of a sleepy game for SMU fans, I would assume. Auburn at Arkansas historically has been one of the crazier games. I feel like this is how you know a college football fan. If someone can tell you, man, these Auburn Arkansas games have been fucking insane over the past since I can really remember, since Arkansas joined the SEC. Or Baylor at Cincinnati, Mac, another one with big implications here. I want your pecking order of the games you're excited to see here.
Sunflower, because K-State's beat Kansas 16 in a row. I mean,
and there's blood in the water too.
And they blood in the water
this year. Yeah,
finally ended. They're favored for the first time in forever. And then SMU's only a 3-point favorite at Wake. Yeah, that's number 2. I do love Auburn, Arkansas because of the craziness of that game, and then I'll go Baylor, Cincinnati, just because. Yeah, it's got Big 12 implications, but there's not regionality involved in it.
Yeah. Although SMU and Wake, I guess.
Yeah, I think I'm fascinated by this Wake team.
I'm fascinated by SMU. They have yet to lose a game in conference in the regular season in the ACC.
Yeah. Actually, I'll flip Auburn and Arkansas with SMU and Wake. I'm with you. I love that game, and
Auburn Arkansas is a hilarious game.
And throw the freeze element in there.
Freeze element. You can go back to the Houston Nutt element on this. You can go back to Bobby Petrino was once the coach, was trying to become the coach at Auburn while he was the OC. There's just a lot of tie-ins here, and the fan bases. It's just a perfect game to me. It's just a great college football game.
A lot of character between those two guys, Freeze and Petrino.
Oh yeah, it's just scumbag bowl. All right, next up in the land out under. Which game are you most excited to see here? This is rivalry games here I chose. Michigan at Michigan State, Tennessee at Kentucky, Minnesota at Iowa, Virginia at North Carolina, and then give me that order. These are all rivalry games. Some of them second-tier rivalries. Probably all of them you could make a case. But the order of the games you want to watch this weekend.
I think I'm going to go – this is a good one. Because it's I mean, Michigan State is, I think, the biggest rivalry between all these. But I don't know if Sparty is enough. I'll put that one just because weird shit has happened when it's been in East Lansing. So I'll put that one. Then I probably would go Tennessee, Kentucky. Stoops and company, can they finish the job unlike last week? Then Virginia, Carolina, then the big former Big Ten West game.
Minnesota at Iowa. All right, only one more here in the land down under, and that is the game you're most likely to, or you're most excited to see here. Honoring the group of 5 teams here. Toledo is heading to Pullman, Washington to take on Washington State. Appalachian State's heading to Norfolk, Virginia to take on ODU. UConn is heading to Rice.
That is random.
And San Diego State at Fresno State. All kind of good games, though, right?
That's number one because of the race.
And it's a rivalry game.
Yeah, that's got some fucking juice to it. Fresno and San Diego State. So that's one. And then I think I'm going to go Toledo Wazoo.
I'm kind of fascinated by that game because both Washington State, we think, has turned a corner despite losing 2 games in a row. They're playing really well in those games. Toledo, if you're talking, man, if they lose another game, it's a big disappointment. Where do you go after that? Your last one is UConn at Rice, huh?
Yeah. Big App State, ODU's next. That game's just so random. It's like, what the fuck's going on here? UConn and Rice?
Yeah. I mean, it's 2 decent teams, though. I mean, I know Rice got destroyed by UTSA. And, folks, that is our episode, the Dantabase Top 25. You survived the land down under where we bullshit about college football. Shout out to Clark. He says San Diego State, Fresno is the game. Let's go.
Yeah. Agreed.
All right, folks. Give Moneyline Mac a follow on Twitter at Moneyline_Mac. I'm on Twitter at TheColbyD. The College Football Experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. And yes, shout out to Clark. Wants the flex bone back. It's the greatest. It's the greatest offense. Watch Harding football. All right, I want the flex bone back. But I am fascinated, by the way, if we're having a conversation. I love watching Rice's offense. Drew Cronick and what he's done at Navy with some of their passing schemes out of the triple is quite entertaining. I do a deep dive on that. I'd highly recommend doing a deep dive on that. YouTube.com/The College Experience. Hit that like and subscribe button. We will be back tomorrow talking all the weekday games. And just so you know, folks, there's a lot of weekday games going on. Pretty good slate because we have on Wednesday. We already previewed the CUSA games for tomorrow at the beginning of the episode. Delaware at Jacksonville State. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's last week. Middle Tennessee at Delaware. Missouri State at New Mexico State. Okay, these games, you're just watching it because of the Delaware, Missouri State, new to the FBS type thing. Because they can't play in a bowl, which is dumb. Thursday, South Alabama, Georgia State.
Oh, God. 2-1-6 teams.
But Friday, we get a little bit of meat on the bone, right? North Texas goes to Charlotte, goes to the Clit. 27.5 point spread. Cal at Virginia Tech. Cal is 5-2. So Cal is still very much alive to play for the ACC championship. Boise State at Nevada. We just talked about that game. We're excited for that one. Also, don't sleep on Columbia at fucking Dartmouth in the FCS ranks. Series goes back to the 1800s. Dartmouth won by a last-second field goal last year. But the big one, I think one of the most exciting weekday games we have is 7-0 Montana heading to Sacramento State, who wants to be in the FBS, who's currently suing the NCAA to get in the FBS. They hired Brennan Marion, go offense OC from UNLV. They brought in a shit ton of transfers. They have a bunch of money behind them. They're talking shit about all the other FCS schools. It's fucking hilarious.
Pac-12 after dark.
ESPN 2 on the broadcast there, nationally televised. Montana Sac State Friday night is a banger, folks, and we will preview all those games tomorrow. And we'll probably talk if anyone else gets fired. I don't think anyone else will get fired, but you never know. All right, folks. Till next time. This is the College Football Experience. Dantabase Top 25 style. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.